Hello and welcome. My name's Marie and this is my yarn journey. Today is a traditional podcast episode where I'm going to update you on the projects I've been working on this week. Hope you are well. Hope you've got a drink and some crafting to do while you're watching, but I'm not sure if this is going to be a very long episode. I've only got 2 projects to talk about, and that's because I've been furiously working on a garment that I sillily thought I might have finished, but no, alas, I haven't managed to do that. But yeah, so enjoy watching. And warnings, this may be quite a rambly one. I'm very excited for tomorrow and my head's a bit like because I'm thinking about what I need to get done before I go tomorrow. So the first project that I am going to talk about today is one that you've seen quite often. What I do really need to do, and I said this last week and I've still not done it. Oh yeah, this is a bag by Tea Cake and Makes, which I absolutely love. And this is housing my Underlace top. And I'll just hold it up here. I'm tempted, I've been knitting on this week while editing, like I said, and I've edited last week's podcast and then Sunday video and then the Tuesday video, so it's 3 videos I've knit on. But actually for some reason I think I only knit on it twice when I was editing, and I just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I've done 12 rows, and I'm just gonna measure it from the underarm. I'm aiming for about 12 inches. I'll just try and do it with this. So that's 5. So I'm about 8.5 inches at the moment, but that's just a rough guesstimate with my gauge ruler. What I will say, and I'll hold it up against me, it might actually be quite good. With this, and I know I've mentioned it before, my gauge was off. I knew my gauge was off and I calculated to accommodate that, and I'm doing size 7 where I'd normally do around a size 3, 4. I'm loving the fabric and everything. The only thing that I didn't account for in this Underlace top by Lily Kate France is that changing the gauge would affect how the lace would look. Now I had a go at knitting the lace and I gave up. I did about 3 rows I think it was, and then I gave up. I can't really remember now, it's been that long since. I really think I need to try this on and then I probably will be able to make a decision. I'm not sure at this stage whether I want to do the lace or whether to just do an I-cord edging on it and keep it quite simple and let the colour thingy. I'm not even sure what the fit's going to be like. I've had it on the needles that long because I started this in July last summer, not this summer, when we were on the Norfolk Broad. This was what I was knitting on, so it has been a long time on the needles. It's one of my 2023 whips. The yarn is Fibre for the People and it's a 50-50, I think it's merino cotton. I'm really pleased with how it's knitting up and how the fabric's turning out. I'm glad I went for sticking with the fabric I liked and adjusting for gauge. But yeah, I'm not really sure what to do on the finishings, but I need to try it on, so I might actually do that once I've finished recording. I might just pop this on a cord because I've got a cord behind the camera there, and just see fit wise what it's doing. at this stage though, after all this knitting, am I really going to rip it back? Probably not. But with it being a vest top, being oversized, it's not going to be too bad, is it, if it is that way? It might just be the perfect fit. Sometimes it's really hard to tell when you've got something on the needles. And also, I've noticed a lot recently, blocking can really affect how it turns out. But yeah, I did knit on that while I was doing my editing this week. Excuse me. But it is slow going. You know, there's lots of stitches. Each row takes a while. It's on 2.75mm needles. I knew it wasn't going to be quick, but I feel like doing it this way, I'm making progress, but it doesn't really feel like a slog because I don't even have to look at it while I'm knitting, and I'm just knitting in the round. But if it's, did I say it was 8.5 inches? Yeah, 8.5 inches. Let me just check that again. You'll be laughing. Somehow I think I thought it was going to be more, but I'll just double check again. So yeah, 8.5. So I have got go to 12 inch. Sorry, I've got to go to 12 inches, so I have got another 3.5 inches to do on that. So yeah, hopefully it won't be too long before I can bind it off, and then I'll decide what I'm doing with the edgings. I did only have 2 skeins of that fibre for the people yarn. Oh, and that was in colourway Sky. But obviously she dies in limited numbers and batches, so it's highly unlikely that you'd be able to get that colourway again. So I've just tried this on. Try and move my hair out of the way. I'll just put the yarn back on the side here. Right, overall pretty pleased with the fit of this, but there's one issue, and I'm not sure because I've got it over my dress. I don't think the armhole depth is a problem at all. I think that's pretty bob on, but I seem to have a bit of excess fabric here. Now, do we think that if I put an I-cord on here that will cinch it in a bit or not? So I'd love to hear your thoughts, feedback, the rest of the fit over my bust and going down here. And obviously it's probably going to be quite a drapey fabric, so that's going to be great. Happy with everything else. The straps are a little bit thin for my liking. Don't know if you can see. If I put an I-cord on, I'm not sure that will be enough to cover a bra. Who knows? But yeah, it fits me a lot better than I was expecting, just because it seemed to look quite big on the needles, but clearly it's not. Yeah, I'm just hoping I can fix this little issue here, because other than that, pretty bob on. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, so as I said, there is only 2 projects, and project number 2 is, can you guess? Obviously you know what it is, but what I'm going to do just before I pick it up and show you where I'm up to at this moment, I have taken a few progress photos throughout the week. I have worked exclusively on this apart from when I'm editing, and yeah, I tried my best, but there was no way I could get it done by Yarndale, which is tomorrow. And yeah, I did try. It was ambitious. I was saying to myself, oh no, it won't be done, but I was really thinking, can you do it? Can you do it? On Monday I thought, yes, I can do this. But then when I had a few issues with the sleeves, I was like, there's no way this is going to be done. And the ribbing took me way longer. So are we ready? You will have seen the progress photos now though, because I will have put them up on the side here. Dun, dun, dun. And this is the Porcelain sweater by Lene, Holme, Samsoe, or Samsoe. I don't know. That's from memory, by the way. And names aren't my things. Now, I absolutely love how this is turning out. I hope you can see it. As you can see, I have finished the body. I've done all the ribbing. And I'm just on the cuff of the sleeve. Now, a few things to mention about this. So I've told you the yarns. This one is, the main colour is Blanc by, that's the colour name. It's Luma by the Fibre Co. I'm also using this beautiful colour which is called Cruel Summer, and that is by my Creative Garage, Vanessa. Sorry, my mind has gone blank. And these two are COS yarns that I picked up at Tangled Yarn. So I have shown you all them, so that's just a brief thing. Absolutely love the main colour, still absolutely loving it. Had one major issue though with this. So this is a sewn bind off. I didn't do the 2 setup rows, but I did do I do have instructions for a sewn tubular bind off, which I follow. I've pretty much got it memorised, I just need to look at it for the setup. So I did all my ribbing, that was all fine. Came to do the sewn bind off, was doing that absolutely fabulously. I'd done about 2/3 of it, went on the school run, came back, and for some reason, as soon as I continued, it snapped. Could not believe it. I've never spliced, so I didn't know how the hell to do that, and I just had a little tuft of tail sticking out, which was a disaster. So yeah, I've never had that happen before on a bind off, and I was a sewn bind off, and I was just like, oh my god, what am I going to do? So anyways, it continued to snap then. Obviously, I think the friction of doing the other 2/3 had obviously done something to the yarn, and I wasn't aware obviously that it was fragile in that way. So yeah, but I did manage to get it finished, and it wasn't too bad. There was the odd point where it does look a bit iffy, but nice and stretchy. When I was I think the collar's turned out absolutely beautiful. It's a folded collar which has been knitted down. For the instructions in this pattern, you are supposed to pick up all the purl stitches on the inside for where you picked up stitches. Then you knit those together with the knit stitches that are already on the needle, because it's ribbing, and then you are doing a standard bind off while knitting them together. Now I know my standard bind off is pretty tight, and I've found that instead of doing a pass over, doing it through the back loop makes it nice and stretchy for me. So I went ahead and just did that, and I don't know if you can tell, but the neckline, it's super stretchy, gets over my head perfectly fine. I did discuss last week that I knew my gauge was off, so I haven't been doing gauge swatches, naughty me, but my gauge swatches have been lying. So what I've been doing is casting on and checking my gauge. Now I was doing the size that would end up as 100 and, let me just check what it is in inches, because I keep, for some reason I keep crossing over from inches and centimetres. but I will just tell you because I've got the pattern on my iPad here. So in my wisdom, I decided that I would do the size that had a bust circumference of 45 inches. Now I've always thought that I've not measured myself for a while until I started doing this exercise, and so I did measure myself, and my bust currently is 37 inches. So that would have given me about 7 inches of positive ease. No, 8 inches, sorry, of positive ease. So I thought that would be absolutely fine because I didn't want it as big as an oversized as is in the picture. So then I thought, well, because I don't want it as oversized, and because obviously there I know I've got a bit of positive ease to play with, I'm going to do it on the needle size recommended. I'm still at this point unsure whether that was a good idea. I knit my back panel, I checked my gauge, and I thought I was about 23-24 stitches, and being me, obviously I worked out what the size would be based on my gauge being 23 stitches. Well, it obviously was 24, and I counted it about 5 times, and I was, you know, I think I was like halfway between, but obviously the colour works probably cinched it in a bit because of my tight knitting, and probably my tight floats as well. So yeah, when I came to try, and that when I worked it out, I think it was going to be just under 42 inches. So I thought, well, that's all right, because I'll still have a little bit of positive ease there. It just won't be oversized. Lo and behold, with the 20 stitch gauge, not the 20 stitch gauge, what am I saying? With the 24 stitch gauge, it turned out that actually it's going to turn out as 40 inches, which is supposedly going to give me 3 inches of positive ease, which it may do once it relaxes after blocking, but I've tried it on and it is quite a fitted garment, which I wasn't expecting. Luckily, I have seen quite a few people wearing a more fitted version, and I do like it. I just hope that it does loosen up a bit on blocking, because at the moment, yeah, it's a bit like, I've taken a risk there, and I don't know if it's paid off. But yeah, I'm doing it on 3 and 4mm needles. I've really enjoyed the process of knitting it. The collar turned out beautifully. When I got to doing the sleeves, oh my golly, I cannot believe the difficulties that I had getting this first section of the colour work right. Once I got started on the body ones, most of the pattern repeats were like small, so like 10, or I think it was 14 stitches for one of them. So that was easy because I used markers in between. When I came to look at the sleeve chart on my iPad, I'll just hold it up there so you can see it. It didn't actually have any sort of repeat. She'd just charted the whole of the sleeve, the band of colour work all the way around. So I started trying to just cast it on and do it, and I thought, this is not working, it's just all going wrong. Ripped it back about 3 times, and then I thought, why are you not just doing what you know works? So I used my iPad pencil, I put lines in every 10 stitches, and then I was away, and it was absolutely fine. And put my markers in and just did what I know works for me, and yeah, then it went pretty much straight forward, thank goodness. I think my floats are a bit tight on this bottom one though, but I've not I think did I try it on after? Yeah, I did actually, because I wanted to see the length of it. I think it's going to be what I decided was to follow pattern for the sleeve. knit to that point, and I've copied what I've done in the body, so I've got the same number of rows after the colour work pattern. And then I thought I'd look at the sleeve length and see what I thought. With it being a more fitted garment, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I've decided to do more. I'm hoping that it's going to end up being more of a 3/4 length, and if not, like a bracelet length. The one that a Homespun House has done, her version, hers is 3/4 length, and it does actually look really, really nice. And I thought it'd be quite handy with this being a blended fabric and might not be like as warm, more of a I don't know what I'm trying to say, autumn rather than winter. Then I thought that might work well. It's nice to have a variety of options, isn't it? So the last one I just did, my pole sweater, that's like a lovely cozy, and it comes down onto my hands and it just keeps me really, really warm. I've not got much left to do now on this cuff. I think I've got about 5 rows on my cuff to do, and then I can bind off and then try it on and see if I'm happy. Yeah, I am really, really looking forward to blocking this and seeing how it looks and drapes, and how the fabric is once it's blocked. I'm hoping it turns out that it works out okay. I've put a lot of you know, love into this sweater, and you know, I'm super happy with my colour choices. It's just what I had in mind. The only one that I was probably a bit unsure about is this bottom pattern here, because I wasn't sure the lilac popped enough, and maybe I should have reversed the colours, but I was really unsure whether that was going to look good or not. And I think if I was going to do the sleeves longer and cozier, it maybe would have been good to have this pattern at the top, because I actually prefer, out of the 3 patterns, that's my least favourite, and this one I really liked, but then it's only on the body. But that's just personal preference. What do you think? I mean, on the last when I was recording last week, I was only up to here on the body, so I've done all that body and I've done all that sleeve since last Friday, which I think's pretty good going, really. Shame I couldn't get it finished for Yarndale, but I probably will end up wearing my pole sweater, which was my last finished, hopefully by next week when I see you. Hold me to this, because when I started that sleeve and I was getting all them frustrations, and then I knew that time was ticking on, there was no way I was going to get it finished to have time to block it and be able to wear it for Yarndale. I was like, oh, shall I just work on something else for a bit? But I thought, no, I need to see this through to the end. So next week I should have, on Friday when I'm recording the podcast, this should be finished, and I'm not going to cast on anything new with anything from Yarndale, which will be so tempting depending on what I buy. That leads me nicely into, and I know I've discussed this before, but I didn't have much to say this week really with just having knit on this. Again, I've done a lot of knitting, but there's only so much you can say about one garment. But yeah, I could not believe it when the yarn started snapping, because I wasn't expecting it at all. But it feels very cozy. That I am looking forward to trying, you know, hopefully it'll loosen up slightly, it'll relax, and it'll just be a good fit, and then I'll be able to see what I can style it within my wardrobe. So the last thing really that I wanted to talk to about today is just a bit about Yarndale. Obviously I'm off there tomorrow. If anyone is coming, feel free to come and say hi. I'm not good with remembering names, so apologies for that. But yeah, I'm happy to have a chat and say hi. And I just wanted to quickly run over again. I know I've said this for the last few weeks, but what I am going to be hoping to potentially pick up stuff for. So one of them is the Andrea Mowry, the Stone Crop, which is a fingering weight. Fingering weight colourwork sweater. Might be regretting the colourwork decision after doing this big one. And Vanessa from My Creative Garage has made a suggestion that I really like. Basically, you use spin cycle in, well, Andrea Mowry uses spin cycle in that pattern for the colour work. You need 2 skeins of spin cycle, and it is £28.50 a skein. That's without postage. Probably have to pay postage on top. So that's quite a lot for 100 grams of yarn, in my opinion. Beautiful yarn, but I was looking at either cheaper alternatives, because to me, well, when you look on the pictures anyway, it's a dark, a lot of people have used a dark main colour. So she uses dark navy, and the one that I'd seen that had alerted me to this pattern was a Homespun house had Molly from a Homespun house had her version of that she'd done in a dark purple. Now looking at it, in my opinion, you cannot tell from that colour work in any of the photos or any of the ones that I've seen that spin cycle is used. Now to me, if I'm using a yarn that's costing me £28.50 per skein, I want it to sing in the project. I want it to show that I am using that unique spin cycle yarn in that project, in my opinion. When I first saw it, I thought the contrast was a cream or a white. So I don't think it even warrants using it now. AJ, one of my lovely viewers, had given me a few suggestions, one of them being the Zucker ball, if that's how you say it, which was a really good option, half the price I think. And then I got Vanessa had obviously watched my podcast, and she'd suggested using minis, and I just instantly thought, well, I'm trying to use stash up. I'm going to Yarndale where I could top up any minis if I haven't got enough. So I thought, yeah, I'm sold on that. For me, that's a great idea. Using up stash and everything else, and I think it would be great. So I went into my stash and had a look at what I had, and I found what I think is the perfect, I'll just put it here, and if you can't, I hope you can see it. If not, I'll take a photo or I'll zoom in or whatever. And this is a set that I got from Craft House Magic, and it's the Especially For You, and this was out in February, and I got it in a little kit. I'll show you the colours at the back so you can see them. And the spin cycle colours were not exactly like this, but they were kind of a muted palette, which these are. So I'm hoping there'll be enough contrast. I'm hoping to get a Kinross 4-ply, if possible in Thistle, for the main colour, but I may change my mind when I'm at Yarndale, or I may not pick anything up. We shall see. That's my ideas anyway, but I'm really happy with the choice of these minis, and they're just a standard sock, 80% superwash BFL and 20% nylon high twist. The other potential garment that I would like to get a main colour for, but again may not, is my Christmas Day sweater. To be fair, I am thinking that I probably just want to do it in a black, or potentially I could do it in a navy, but I do want a darker main colour for that. And I'm not sure if I think maybe getting a commercial yarn is probably going to be more economical for that, and I don't think that it's more that you want the colour work to shine. So I don't know if I will pick up the yarn for that, but I have made a list on my phone with the meterage that I need for both of those, so hopefully I'm going to get a dark purpley colour for that stone crop sweater, and then I want a main colour either navy or black for. I will probably look out for a couple of single skeins for socks, maybe one for my partner and one for me, depends if I see anything that takes my fancy. I could do with some more wool wash, I've just run out, and I could do with a few more needle stoppers, that sort of thing, but I'll just see how it goes. I've got lots in stash. I'm trying to be a bit more mindful of what I'm buying this time. Christmas is coming up, and you know, I do have some pre-order yarns on the way, so because I've got my 2 advents, I have ordered the Blue Fern Yarns 4 weekly advent again, because hers was beautiful last year, and her dyeing is wonderful, and I think she's coming to Yarndale, and I've also seen that she's got some quite nice looking autumny needle stoppers, which might be nice to pick up if she has any left when we arrive. What else? The other advent that I've ordered is the Fibre Fox. Last year my friend Mona got the Fibre Fox, and I saw Laura Penrose, she got it as well, and I thought I wanted to try her out this year. I really wanted to get 1 advent. I struggled to stick to just 2. There was a few. There was one that was succulent based that I absolutely loved, but I'd already at this point ordered those 2, and there's only so many garments that I'm going to be able to make to fit into my wardrobe that I can make with advents. So they're a lot of money, and for what I need at the moment, I prefer to put them into garments rather than blankets. So yeah, trying to be a lot more mindful of what I'm spending my money on for my crafting, and doing it wisely so that I can make the items that I need and want from my wardrobe, and that everything that I make is going to be loved and useful. Right, well, I think that's enough rambling for one day. Hope you're having a wonderful day and evening, and that if you're coming to Yarndale on Saturday, tomorrow, yeah, hope to see you there. And hopefully I will be able to get some video footage for you. Fingers crossed for a video Sunday, might be Monday, depends how tired I am on Sunday. But Mona's normally very good at getting some footage. She likes to get lovely silly videos of me as well, so look out for those, you know, maybe Monday. Have a lovely weekend. See you next time. Bye.